So we all know that the U.S. soccer structure is a fucking mess. The pay-to-play system is strong, and those who have it are given the most opportunities. And I just want to take a second to rag a little bit on the fucking Jefferson Cup, which is supposed to be one of the biggest tournaments for youth soccer in the nation. Top 5, if you look up at all the tournaments, top 5 of the nation. Supposed to be pristine conditions, well organized, not a fucking bit at all organized. We played on grass fields this weekend and in the rain, shit conditions, and come to find out the morning of our consolation and semifinals, everything's fucking canceled because they don't have the full rights to the field. So it's just so fucking frustrating that these top-notch tournaments can't even get their shit together so the youth can do their thing. It's just so annoying, frustrating, and especially the clubs who are the organizers who pocket all the fucking money. It's so corrupt, and it's so frustrating that the kids who are playing are the ones that are getting penalized, and all the fat cats get to line their pockets more. Do better, Jefferson Cup. Do better.
Fuck the U.S. soccer structure. And on that note, Joe,
welcome to the Snobby Boys.
You are now tuned into the Snobby Boy podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Snobby Boy podcast. As always, I'm Colby. Those are my homies over there. That's Joe and Kyle. We have quite an episode for you guys. I have a little curveball that's going to come right after intermission. But real quick, I want to make sure that you guys, as always, do this.
Oh, thank you.
It would greatly help us get our name out there. If you love us, you should tell people about us because that's how this really works, if I'm being honest. So we've had a lot happen to us this week. First and foremost, I think you guys know that we've already put out a few shirts. I have a reveal. Joe did one this past week. As you can see, he's wearing it this evening. I got mine.
Ooh, live reveal.
We're doing a little live reveal from Bonfire. Listen, out of everybody that's gotten these products from Bonfire so far, they've loved them. So I suggest you guys get on it. It's honestly like the quality of the stuff has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm so incredibly impressed. So glad to be doing business with them. So without further ado, I am going to reveal this bitch.
Damn.
Right? Pull it back. Whoa. Where's
It looks.
Boom.
We're gonna be
I like
twinsies.
the gray.
We're twins. We're twins. Wait, who's Liam and who's Noel?
We'll let Kyle decide.
Well, given the height,
lot.
I mean, like that's all I really have to go off of here. That's just so I think we know who is who out of that. So there we go.
So I'm Noel.
We do.
Yes, I'm kind of a prick, so it makes sense. It only makes
You're
sense.
the actual genius in the band and one and just a really good singer. Yeah, shots fired.
No, nobody wants me to sing though.
I love you, Joe.
Hey man, it's all love here.
I'm not going to Gallagher you. That's fucked up.
I mean, I do really want to hear you do like some Wonderwall or something.
We're going to karaoke now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ohio, baby. There's got to be some karaoke right there.
Give me a few beers and I'm in. And the wall gets broken down and I'll fucking sing all night. I don't care.
Right.
A little liquid courage.
I will not.
I'm gonna have to get you out of that. I have to do some harmonizing behind the thing. So like I said, we've got a jam-packed episode for you guys. What happened this week with us? So, we're a podcast and we base ourselves on the obvious. We, as most people, and as you guys have heard us, literally shout out to the world to get a part of an OSC. our own OSC decided to give us a shit sandwich. We were given a warning about, or excuse me, it wasn't even a warning, it was a complaint. We got a complaint that we were posting in the group too much, trying to create engagement. I find that fucking laughable. Because there is a lot of asshats that are in these OSCs that talk a lot of shit, which we'll get into later. Because there was one specific thing with was it the Copenhagen match?
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a Copenhagen match where this fellow said that some player was on a red when in fact he wasn't, and was a complete gaslight tactic that was not even fucking brought to light. So
Trying to fuck with our brilliance. That was, that was pretty close, given like all the jumble of that match. That was pretty close for our predicted lineup.
Fuck you, CCB. Yeah. We're out. We're never paying you dues again, and we'll continue to do this by trashing you guys because that's not how you create a community. Period.
That's literally all we were. That's literally all we were trying to do by posting in that group was to drive engagement, which nobody fucking does in that group. Been in that one for 5 fucking years, and I'm the one that posts most of the shit.
Right? We're literally labeled top contributors in that group.
Yes.
Like,
and we're no shape or form where we trying to ram home our podcast saying, please follow us. Hey, subscribe to our channel. Not a single post said that. Nothing. It was strictly funny city related content, and people were bitching about posting too much. That's the point of a fucking Facebook group, is to post content to talk about, and that's how we get treated. It's
do better, fan bases.
Yeah, I hope I hope you guys have some good gear, because that's where I'm signing up next year.
Yeah, and well, I don't know if I'm gonna be signing up for an OSC again. If I do, it's gonna be based upon how cool the scarf is, honestly.
Strictly for the scarf.
Strictly for the scarf. All right, guys. So, right. Yeah, but you can get all those benefits just by doing it right through the club directly. So it's like, I don't really need you. You're my hometown.
Just order some Roughneck sweat.
That's it. Well, no, you have to order those in batches. You got to order those in batches, and it sucks because I totally looked into that. Totally.
Snobbies scarves.
Maybe.
Merch.
Maybe.
Merch alert.
So, anyways, that's our sob story for the week. Looks like we got a couple of comments in. Who's in?
Damn the man.
Oh shit. We got our boys Hollywood in here. Uh-oh. Yeah. I think the Wood's in the building. Oh shit.
Welcome to the party, and thank you for being here.
Yeah. I know who you are. I know who's pulling those strings right now. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. All right, guys, so let's get into it. First half, we're gonna make this short and sweet because, like I said, we've got a jam-packed episode. We're gonna take the brunt of this episode and make it basically all about Liverpool. So we're gonna do the Copenhagen match real quick. Just to start it off real quick, corner in from Alvarez into Kanji, bangs it in, makes it effortless. It was a sight to see.
And Akanji, somebody we've talked about a bit of when he's been stepping into the midfield and having less than stellar ball distribution and ball skills, but that wasn't the case today. So kudos to that day. Great technique. He was physical. He didn't get pushed off the ball, and that's a tough volley that he had to put into the right bit. That was difficult, and he did a great job. So Akanji, keep doing that shit, dude. Great job.
Like a true volley, not like a half volley bullshit. Like, man.
No. Yeah, dude.
Difficult skill to do.
Awesome way to open up the game. Back to, our typical game is always possession. We did a lot more play through the midfield, which is something that we have not really, I'm not going to say we haven't been good at it, but it's something that we don't really touch. We've mostly been playing out of the back, and it's typically through the foot of Kyle Walker, Rodri, Diaz, Akanji on much occasions, and Gavardiol. So it's really good to see all that happening. Bob's vision. Let's talk about that real quick. His ability to find lanes, to be able to just run with the ball. Like, it has to be applauded, guys.
Absolutely. And he's picking up pockets of space coming in from the wing kind of more centrally, and he just knows when to find those spaces and when to go. And when he does pick up those spaces between the lines, his low center of gravity, his strength below the waist reminds me of the way Sergio Aguero used to pick up the ball and turn. It's so quick, people can't knock him off the ball, and he's always dynamic when that happens, and he's able to find space to get a shot off when there isn't a lot of room to get one off. And it's awesome to watch him grow and see him just blossom right in front of our eyes.
Well, yeah, you think like, what, 3, 4, 5 years? I don't know. Basically, when Phil was in that same stage, and we were starting to see these little glimmers. Now, granted, we got to see a lot more of Phil than we've gotten to see of Bob, but such is life. But like from where Phil was back then, and those glimmers that we saw back then, and what we're seeing from Bob now, and where Phil is now, I mean, assuming Pep stays for a fair amount of time to help develop these youths, I mean, that kid is nothing but potential.
And there's so much potential that's coming out of our academy, and it's
Fucking A.
People don't even realize it. If you keep up with our EDS, there's quite a barrage of players that are coming into our side slowly but surely. One of them of which we'll get into in the Liverpool match. Rodri had one in, hits crossbar, it leads to an Alvarez goal from outside the box. One of the things we've been preaching on all season is clean up the fucking box. Jules did it. He stayed on the perimeter. He took the ball. He did what he had to do with it. Dinger in the fucking back. Joe, what do you got on that?
The corner started from him, and oftentimes
Yeah.
when guys take corners, they kind of casually stroll back into the play and take their time. But he did not do that. He followed his cross, got into a good position, and the ball dropped to him and hit a laser. That was not a just soft shot. He struck that thing really well, and Rodri was super unlucky not to finish that one. But Jules did what he's supposed to do, cleaned up the garbage, banged it in. The keeper for Copenhagen, not a great moment for you. I feel for you a tiny bit because my daughter plays keeper. What he did wrong, he took a left step thinking the ball was going to go farther. So when he got back and got his hands up, he did not get his palms on the ball. He was all fingertips. And on most pro keepers, when on their gloves that they wear, they don't have finger saves. They have nothing in the back to give a little extra support and strength there. So if it hits those fingers and you're not getting the majority of your palm on the ball, that's what's going to happen. It's just going to go right through those things. So
yeah,
have some stronger fingers, my guy, or that's going to keep happening to you.
Find a new profession.
Right. Right.
So
Kyle, anything to boot?
Honestly, that whole match for me was really just like excitement about getting those kids in and getting to see them flow all together. And I felt like we got to see, I mean, obviously dispersal of goals was one thing. And that was like, that's one of my favorite things to see is not having, I mean, Erling banging in 5 goals or whatever, a joy. But seeing, 3 different people that especially don't normally get them in, well, I mean, sort of, like it's what I prefer to watch. But it was just an all around like good feeling match. And I mean, I really don't have much more to add other than that, because it was just like we kind of went into it acknowledging, hey, the lineup's probably going to be this. It's probably going to end up like this, and it did. I mean, that's City's 10th match with 3 goals or more. Is that right in the Champions League?
it's
in a row?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
Making more history. No other English club has done that.
Yeah.
Not any of those big red clubs that everybody shoves down our throat in the media.
I'm so done with the fucking mainstream red media bullshit. So done with it. One of the things I want to throw out there about this game, Copenhagen, especially that goal, they had a lot of good passes. especially getting down in the box. But the thing that I really want to harp on is the fact that we leak goals, senseless goals. What do we need to do in order to make what adjustments do we need to make, should I say, in order to prevent these type of goals from happening? Because, like I said, this isn't good ball for us. Yes, we walked away. We already were up on ag when we walked into this, but leaking goals. What do you guys think?
It's something that you don't want to continue to see happen because eventually it's going to cost you against the better teams.
Right.
And a lot of times it's something mental. It's not somebody just getting outright beat. It's not somebody, slipping and making a mistake. It's we switch off for whatever reason late in a half, maybe early to start the second half. We just are not, as a group, checked on, and our back line is oftentimes a little disorganized, which leads to these situations. That's what it is. So for me, we have to be switched on at all times against every club. There are every team that we're going against has somebody that's going to be able to hurt us. Some of them have higher quality ability to beat us, some not so much, but they still are fucking professionals. They have skill. They will hurt you if you continue to have moments like this. The frustrating thing for me, every fucking time we make a mistake like that, we always fucking get punished. And it doesn't seem like that always is the case with other clubs. I know it probably isn't true, but I watch all of the City games, obviously, and it feels like every time somebody makes a boo-boo defensively with a mental mistake, it's always going in the back of the net. So,
right. And real quick, we didn't even show our predicted lineup for this, so I'm going to throw that up there real quick. Ortega, Gomez, Ake, Kanji, Lewis, Nunes, Kovacic, Foden, Bob, Silva, Alvarez up front. There's something to that. And I'm going to leave that there just for you guys to stew on because, as I said, that was just our predicted lineup, not the actual lineup, but we're going to stew on that for a second. 47th minute, Haaland hits the goal. Ball was played in by Rodri beautifully out of the back. Kyle, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's something that we've kind of gotten like 50-50 out of Haaland on. Receiving those balls, controlling them, and then like converting them. And that like was pristine Haaland. Like you saw him, make the run, make the adjustment on the ball, switch feet, and then just like tuck it in. Like it was so well hit and it was just pristine. And I mean, I get it, he's young and blah blah blah, but like, bro, like half of these chances that we should have had in the net from you haven't been, and there have been situations that are just like this where you're just like that, like turned off and not quite at that level that you can be. But this was not that. This was pristine. This was fucking glorious, and more of that shit.
Joe, final thoughts on the half?
On the half, it's awesome to get 2 early goals in a game where we were up 2 to start. So we immediately put the tie to bed. As soon as we were up on aggregate 5-1, that was it. They were not going to score that many goals at the Etihad. So glad that we got the early ones to get out of the way and put that tie to bed. And I love the directness from Rodri to Haaland. I think we should do that more. Even if it doesn't work, it's good to create the threat that we will do that on the defense, so they can't just push up and try to play and intercept those intricate 1-2s and little triangles that we are so good at. You have to diversify that shit. So long balls like that, even if they don't always work, soften up the defense a little bit, which you love to see.
Yeah, for sure. So we go into the half. I want to take a little break roll here, right quick. God bless America. I want to take a little breaker here just to elaborate again on the predicted lineup. So I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call him by his fucking name. Scott Young came in to the comment section. First person to come out and say, "What are you guys smoking?" First of all. That was his first comment out of his fucking mouth. Or out of his fingers, I should say, because we know how keyboard warriors are. Motherfucker, you wouldn't say that shit to my face. Don't say it online because I'll fucking destroy you. We're lucky. You're lucky we left the fucking club because I should have. You look like a fucking bellend. Don't do that shit. You want to have a constructive conversation about what we put up? That's all fine and good. You want to come in and be a dickhead? I know how to be a bigger dickhead, dude. So don't fuck with me.
Especially when what you
That
say
goes
is dumb.
for a lot of you.
It's wrong.
Yeah,
That goes for a lot of you.
It's completely wrong.
Right. Just two years late with that shit. Like Gomez was on a red against Copenhagen 2 fucking years ago, you dummy.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, he's not available for selection.
Motherfucker,
actually
yes, he is. And he came on.
Well,
So it wasn't that.
Wait, right?
He came on. I'm sorry. Were we that far off? Oh, he came on in the second half. No, he was going to fucking play in this game. So.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it.
Rolling into the second half, tons of possession. Big note that Nunez, prior to his little mishap, was having a fantastic game, was exploiting the spaces, making great runs, doing a bunch of off-ball movement that we absolutely needed, that we need to see more of. He was fantastic, not just in this match, but going forward. 66th minute, good save from Eddie. Very sloppy in the back, though, wasn't it, guys?
Yes, and
should never got
Eddie. Yes, no. And Eddie cleaned that one up great. It's nice, strong, firm hand that you'd like to see from your keeper. Unlike the Copenhagen guy earlier in the first half, nice, strong, palmed save, great reaction, but got to clean up that the back line. They were not connected at all, and it was very, very messy in there, which is why that chance happened.
That's actually something that like I want to hit. So when you're saying like, what can we do to tighten up this like leaking sieve of gold bullshit that we have going on?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, because realistically what's happening is the amount that we are rotating our back line and jumbly, it like to maintain some kind of cohesion with that week in, week out. It's, I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I mean, at least we don't have all of our fucking center backs injured either. So
right.
Trade-offs.
Right.
But I mean, yeah. So that's really where I think it really comes into play, is the fact that we're just constantly subbing these guys in and out. And realistically, you need to at least have like a pairing that's pretty consistent to build off of. And we're just not really in that. We're not doing that.
Better communication by the defenders and Rodri. That whole group they got to talk more. That's the best thing at this point. It's just you have to communicate and be a little more aware, and just each individual has to take on the responsibility of saying, I'm not going to have that mental mistake anymore. And if they all do that, we're gravy.
Facts. So, rolling into the highlight moment of this match.
Oh, God.
If you didn't catch it firsthand when it came on, let's have another look.
Oh, God.
Dude, if you didn't like almost spew or upchuck in your mouth when you saw that, man, wow, that was tough.
Poor Nunez. Poor Nunez. That was working your ass off, and that happens to you, man. Like,
right. Well, luckily the physios literally just took it and snapped it right back in on the field, wrapped the shit up, sent him over to the bench, and was like, sit down. Dude, I don't know if you guys saw it too, when he was on the bench, he was walking around showing everybody.
And a lot of them looked really like, man, fuck up, bro. Like,
right?
like man up, bro.
Either move it along or suck it up, bro. Like, it's fine. But he looked okay. Like, that shit, I'm sure that clearly hurt. But once he got it snapped back into place, he looked like he was all right. So that could have been way worse.
Could have been.
But man, what an image.
Maybe that's what they're doing when they encircle the players. They're just like, here's a shot of some fucking drugs and
right. Here's your cortisone.
Real quick.
Yeah. There's a little bit of morphine for fun.
Right.
Nunez, we feel for you, but we also greatly appreciate the content. So thank you for your pain. We appreciate that, because it's going to be good going forward.
Right. We'll never forget.
No.
We'll never forget.
Strong hand.
So So we got our first glimpse of Jacob Wright. He came on late. What do you guys from this match? What did you guys see out of him that is good for what we've got going forward?
I do like that the consistency across the academy up to the first team. They all play the same way. So these young guys, when they come in and get these spot minutes, they already understand how the patterns of play are going to be and how we want to play. So they already come in with a good IQ of how things were going. So it was really nice to see him not really miss a beat when it came to like how quickly we want to move the ball, only taking one, maximum two, if that, and then moving the ball along. So I liked getting to see him. I didn't notice him stand out in any particular great way, like making any great moments, but that's okay. We don't need that at that juncture. He's out there to get some experience and to get his first taste of Champions League football. So that was the takeaway for me. Love that he already knew how to play the City way and was getting indoctrinated into the big club football for the first time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, big facts.
That's like almost basically my exact same take. Yeah, I mean, like but where I differ is basically that, like, yeah, we didn't really get to see anything that was like show stopping, but at the same time that works positively and negatively. And the fact that we didn't see anything show stopping means that he was right where he needs to be right now. You know, he's not overly excelling, but he's not fucking up. And that's really the main thing I'm looking for is, did you fuck up? Because when you're a youth player coming in, odds are, you know. But yeah, well done. And watching your progress, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any final thoughts that you have on the match before we hit to intermission and I throw you guys this curveball?
Fuck you, APA. Sorry, that's just a constant thing.
All the time.
Really happy to watch Rico out there too. Really glad Rico got a full run out there, and he was his usual energetic and lovely self. So very happy to see him out there too.
Yeah, hell yeah. I really did like Sergio slotting in that like CDM role too. I thought that was nice, and I thought he played well in there.
Well noted. Well noted.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's the first half of the show. Like I said, we've got quite a bit in store for you. So we're going to go to our intermission video, come back in about 30 seconds, and I'm gonna kick a screwball at all of y'all. Be back.
I like screwballs.
Surprise!
Yeah.
I'm not only in the house, I'm on your stream. Hollywood Kid Packs, straight out the clink.
Dude, everybody welcome Alex Village for the Hollywood Kid Packs. Let's go.
Getting the round of applause one too. Hell yeah,
Let's
man.
go.
Yo, thank you for bailing me out of jail the other day. You know,
hey
man,
to
get me.
Listen. Fuck the man. First of all, second of all,
man. Fuck IG.
You gotta hold up for your own. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be in this game and expect to go all by yourself because it's you see how some of those moves are taken. So
yeah, for sure.
I digress. Where's the second half?
Where's Will?
Oh, where'd he go?
I don't know. So we did our reaction this morning on YouTube. I'm not sure you guys caught it. I dropped Will off at a friend's place down the street from him. And I'm like, okay. And then he mentioned me that he reached out to you and that we were supposed to go on the podcast, your guys' podcast today. And I was like, okay, I messaged you and you know, very short notice, and then I'm messaging Will. I'm not sure if he's going to jump on or not at this point, but I think he might. He just surprised, but you know, like I reached out, and Colby was like, "Hey, I'm going to make it a surprise." I'm like, "Okay." So I was just chilling backstage this whole time, while you guys were talking, and then making some comments on the stream while
Yes,
you know what I
sir.
mean. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so surprise.
Surprise. Well, hopefully part 2 gets in here too,
I
because
hope so too. Well, yeah.
we need. So you guys are like a fourth now. Like you have 4 parts
Well, yeah.
to the Hollywood Kid Packs now.
So I mean, Ipkiss is an original 3 member, so it was original 3 of us, but now we have an unofficial 4th leg named Jason, who's
Yep.
they would start off there, buddy. And it was kind of funny because we weren't able to elaborate on the stream. I'm not sure if you were able to catch the end of it, but we had to stop. We did our reaction and we were just kind of meandering, but then Jason started upchucking because he had quite a night out, and he goes off, and then he has his trash bag and starts vomiting in this trash bag. And we were like, we're gonna end it. And so like we're laughing at the end of this, and like we'll explain later. So like, but you know, like everyone has a night out. We wake up early to watch these games, and then like Will is like hungover, and then Jason's upchucking, and I'm here just like just vibing, I guess. But I can. But it was a funny way to end the live stream today. But man, what a game of different. The way you look at it, good result. Frustrating result. I have very mixed feelings about this.
I think we all, I can speak for all of us to say it is very much the same, because there was a lot of positives, a lot of negatives about this game, which we'll get into right now. So the first thing, we came out super strong, did we not?
Yeah, we did.
Great first half.
Great freaking first half. Especially, that first goal in. I kind of felt like that was what we needed to start this game off, to show who came to play. Whoever scored first is the team that came to play, and we needed to be that team, and we were that team.
Yeah, that ball in from Jules was fucking magic, and then John was able to just sneak in there, get a little foot on it, and sneak it near post. That's not a typical corner routine. So that was clearly something that they had worked on from the training ground that then comes into the pitch. You love to see that shit. Yeah, exactly. You love to see that work pay off.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to game plan the first half, very much so. The first half I felt like went really quickly. Got the John Stones goal. We go into half. We're up 1-0. That's great. And I think what's polarizing people online, just from the content I've already put out, is the Ederson mistake. And I just think it's how much the goalkeeper has control over the tempo, the mood of the game, just on what they do. But that one singular mistake, I feel like just like ripped a hole in the space-time continuum and like was sucking everything with it. You know what I mean? Just all the all the momentum, all the motivation, just totally the mood shifted. And from what I'm hearing is like people are putting the blame on Ake. And if I distinctly recall, I don't remember anything Ake doing wrong. I think Ake was definitely the best person to start in that game. I would not have started Gavardiol in that game. I was to start Ake, depending on who Ake was going to play. I mean, they're either going to go up against Bradley or Robertson. So I'd rather have Ake than Gavardiol. Gavardiol is just a little bit young right now. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have a more experienced person like Ake who can lock down players like that in big games. But like, I just think that like, what was it? Nunez had already hit the ball and it was already going out. And then Ederson just kept on with the challenge and then just basically clacked him. And, I play as a keeper for like soccer, just like pick up soccer. You know what I mean? I shit the bed plenty of times. That's the key. That's why I'm not.
What happens?
All right. But, and we defended Ederson on the first leg when people were shitting on him for his mistakes in that first leg. But and we defended him there. I mean, like just calling a spade, that was a huge mistake. And that led to a shift in mentality with the boys. The boys looked very shaky, a little bit more, very much unsure of themselves. And then that allowed Liverpool to get some confidence. And Luis Diaz was doing his thing and no one was marking him. He looked very dangerous. Fortunately, he didn't finish any of his chances really. And then it just really shifted, and I feel like we walked away with that lucky to get the 1-1 draw, and then obviously another point of contention I'm already seeing is whether or not that Doku call was the right call, and you know what I mean? And I'm seeing, I feel one way about it. I feel like it definitely at the ref's discretion could have been a penalty. And I think we might be looking back on that no call as a point in the season that like if it wasn't for that call, or that call was made differently, that could have changed our season, our title run. So I've spoken up. What do you guys think?
I mean, well, just on the that bit, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two different things at one. Will's trying to get in. Will's trying to get in, and I don't know how to get him in here. I sent him another link. He said it wasn't working. If you guys want to finish that thought for me, I'm going to work on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely the momentum shifted when the PK happened, and 100% of that shift in momentum is due to their lack of confidence in the keeper at that point. My daughter plays, I coach her, and it's the difference the rest of the team has when the keeper is confident and on their game. They play way more free, and you could see everybody tightened up quite a bit once that happened. I do think Ake's ball back to Ederson was way too soft, and that led to him having to making the decision he did. He put him in no man's land, but for Ederson, you can't come in with a strong left boot like that. You have either go to the ground or you come out big, and you can't do what he did. So for me, absolutely Ederson at fault, poor decision. Ake could have helped him some more by playing a more direct, faster pace ball. And completely agree with Diaz. He was a menace all game. He was getting in. Thank God his finishing is shit, and we were able to not be penalized for that. I do think Doku's PK call, depending on a different ref, it is a penalty. So it's really up to the discretion of the referee. I think McAllister made a meal of it a bit with throwing his body into it once Doku's boot was up. I think he just continued in and didn't even make an attempt to get away from it. So I think he was buying that. I think Mo Salah, too, was just looking to go down at every fucking opportunity. So I'm so happy that Bernie went over to him when he went down, when he wasn't even fucking touched by Ake, and told him you were being a bitch, pretty much, which is why he got all riled up. So I was like, thank you. Call that shit out, because that's ridiculous. So that those are my takeaways from Alex dropped on us. Kyle, I know you want to get in there too.
Well, really, the first bit about like Ake's pass, that's really where I sat on the whole thing. Is like, if that pass was different in 5 different ways, that whole scenario doesn't happen. But here we are, and yeah, it does come down to Ederson making that decision, and here we are. Now, whatever, it's a penalty. There you go. Now, as far as Doku goes, so my thing is he played the ball, got the ball, no pin. If you want to come back and throw in some cards and say, dangerous play, that kind of thing, I can get behind that, because, we've obviously seen it in this same fixture before. And, what's funny is, we have Klopp in the background, after the match being like, well, it was clearly a penalty, and, Doku is trying to kill our player, and blah blah blah.
If the ball wasn't there, he would have killed him, was the quote.
Yeah. And motherfucker, what did you say when Sadio Mane just straight up booted Ederson's face?
I got that too. I don't think it's a red card. He didn't see him. I saw the goalie already, and obviously it's not that bad. In the first moment, everybody thought it was really bad. It was unlucky. It was an accident. Bro.
Suck a fat dick, Jurgen Klopp.
Oh man, the way Jurgen Klopp,
hypocrisy.
the way Jurgen Klopp conducts himself on the sideline, like he tries to like orchestrate the Anfield supporters to like come. He's just like he's like some kind of conductor or something like that. It's just like, dude. You're a fucking whack job, dude. Like shut the,
Dude,
like
he was trying to get him hyped up in moments that he didn't even need to be getting him hyped up in. You're just kind of, and they pan to him every time he does it too, and you're just like, that's cool, bro.
yeah. Like it's like what are you orchestrating? Like you're like summoning something like
Right?
what a dickhead. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes, Alex. Yes.
Big old douche canoe. Big old douche canoe.
He's just super animated. It's like this like German thing. It's just like, just passion, like I don't know what the German word I would use for it, but some Nietzschean
Pregnancy
thing.
dick.
You know
That's
what I
what I
mean?
said.
Like Nietzschean, like world spirit. I don't know, just like yes, Wagner, yes. It's like, no, dude, you're not that guy. You're not him, because Pep is him.
Cheers.
Perfect timing on the sip too. Well done,
Yeah.
sir.
That was almost a mic drop.
Yeah, that was
Hell
my
yeah,
mic
dude.
drop. That was like the Kermit meme. It's like that's just me. So, yeah. But I guess I'll take the result. I guess I'll take the draw. It doesn't really jeopardize our title run. I think we could still. I said on the podcast we could still draw the big six, and still win, considering the fact that Liverpool and Arsenal are prone to drop a result at some point in this next 2.5 months. I really just want that win today, because it's hard to win at Anfield. It's one of the curses that we needed to break. But it wasn't.
And
meant
it would
to
have been
be.
nice to see. It would have been nice to send Klopp off that way too.
Yeah, on a loss.
fucking-
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
also considering what the things that Trent Alexander-Arnold said before the game, I thought that would have marshaled the boys to like do this rage-filled multi-goal performance that just like would have left the Anfield supporters in a state of shell shock, like just to totally railroad them. But I think that I think it was on the cards if it wasn't for the Ederson play. And I could see you guys' perspective about Ake. I didn't really think of it like that, but I can only speak as a keeper or amateur keeper, but that it was not the right decision going in at him like that. So but yeah, I mean, once again, we could draw the top six and still win it. But I can obviously see the next two obstacles that are going to be. It's going to be, obviously we got to beat Arsenal, then we got to beat Tottenham or draw at least. So like those are the next two challenges, and I'm really also starting to see that it's probably going to be a Liverpool City FA Cup final. So this might not be the last time we see them. So there's going to be at least two obstacles, considering the fact that we don't lose any of the other not top six teams from here until the end of the season.
Yeah, I didn't mind the draw if you would have told me that without any context, but the fact that we took the lead and then had to give it away by a PK, coming from a position where we had the 3 points and all we had to do was take care of business, and we didn't do that. That's the part that just bums me out, because otherwise a draw at Anfield is not a bad result by any means. But the fact that we had the lead and it was 1-0 and we were hoping to like see ourselves at the top of the Premier League table at the end of Sunday, like that's the part that bums me out. But the result itself isn't terrible. Hey, we got another guest.
There he is.
Yo.
There
What
he
up,
is.
man? What's going on, Will?
What's going on, guys? Can you guys hear me?
You're too quiet, Will.
It's a little quiet. Little volume.
Okay, how about now?
There you
Better.
go.
All right, cool, perfect.
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Welcome.
Sorry I'm late to the party.
That's okay. You're here now.
Alex said you went down the street for some party stuff. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah. I'm pretty sauced up and depressed about what happened today. But let's get into it.
I mean, there's silver linings to it, man. There's wins that we can take out of this. There's absolutely a ton of losses we can take out of this.
Yeah.
Alex has done a pretty good job of kind of throwing in all the pieces, and let's start to nitpick because we got all the time in the world to do that.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna go first. Holland all season and last season, even when he was with Dortmund, homeboy don't box out. He does not get in front of defenders. There was an opportunity he had right in front of, I don't remember the fucking defender's name. Did not get in front of him and could have taken the cross in and had the goal. That would have made a whole other difference in this fucking game.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I mean-
what? Go ahead.
I mean, Holland doesn't drop into the play at all, really. Like he wants to kind of stay at the top and kind of poach around and go hunt for some goals on that end, but he really doesn't get involved. He's very seldomly gotten involved where he drops back into the midfield and tries to make something happen. And as you can see, who's scored the majority of the goals in like the last month and a half? It's been Phil Foden. How long could have done is he could have dropped back, found the ball, created a play, and then find Phil. But he does not only that does he not box out defenders and really get that physical in there, he doesn't drop in back and try to make some plays. I can recall like maybe once or twice where he's done it to effect, but he hasn't really. That's not what his game is known for. He just kind of wants to wait around for the ball, like KDB to give it to him or Phil Foden to give it to him. He needs to drop into the play a little bit more.
Yeah. So
well, like a relative deal there, like Harry Kane, like with Tottenham, for years that's how we saw Harry play. And then in the last few, we started to see him actually do that and play back, and then Son going forward and all those motions that were happening. And I just think that right now, at least I hope is what's happening, is that Pep's like, okay, for now, stand up the fuck up there. Just stand up there.
Right.
And as we go, we're gonna start adding this into your game. Because every now and then you do see him like come back, take the ball, and play a forward pass, but it's once a match or something.
Yeah.
Well, let me elaborate a little bit more on that, because in this particular instance, this was in a set piece. I find that when he gets into set pieces, he gets boxed out a lot, and I feel like he could do a better job of it. Also, guys, I wanted to bring this up to everybody's attention.
How do you go about pronouncing his name? Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, professional soccer player.
I got a question. I got a question. I got a question, guys. We're all Americans here, but is it Daku or Doku?
Thank you.
I think it can be both, because like we say Dokes all the time, right? So why can't it be Doku? But they say Daku on the TV, so it's like, which one do I really run with?
Yeah, us being content creators, we gotta choose one, doggy. Because they're gonna give us shit for whatever we fucking say. You know what I mean?
Well, either way we say it, we're gonna grab shit for it. So I mean, it's just like,
okay. I'm gonna say I go with Doku. I don't know about the Doku shit. That sounds funny.
I'm with it.
Doku is, I think, it's along the lines of British English and American English. I think they say their O with the ah, Daku, and then we say Doku because that's just American English. So I think it's really either way is fine, but I think it falls along American. It's an Americanism, I guess, to call him Doku.
It's absolutely different.
Alex, you're a teacher, aren't you?
I'm an English teacher. Yeah,
he's taught me a lot.
I would hope so.
I'm just,
No, dude. So I don't mean to like totally roast you on that, guys. There's been several podcasts that have said it, and I'm like, am I tripping? Am I
Holland or Haaland?
Right,
Erling Haaland.
So I didn't hear. I honestly did not hear that until Shade started saying it. And then I heard y'all say it, and I was like, is the PC brigade out? Is that what's happening?
The PC brigade.
Maybe PC brigade, yeah. Trying to police us on our pronunciation of Scandinavian names.
All right.
Oscar Bob. It's Oscar Bob, not Oscar Bob.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like on that level, like,
could it just be Bobby?
Because he's Belgian, right? Doku. So I mean,
yes,
that's
French.
That's Flemish.
I think he's a French-speaking Belgian. Yeah.
Okay.
So
then it would be O. It would be a long O.
We say French. Doku. They say Doku. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, bro.
It's that little nasally
Doku. Doku. Je m'appelle Jamie.
That's funny.
We got the French speaker and the English teacher going at it. This is
there we go.
Come on, England. No.
I mean, Dude, I found out that I'm 53% British, and I thought I was like way Italian this whole time. So
No, and I was gonna make this joke.
Nice.
Joe, chill. Is that from England? Are you
Joe
you know,
Chillington.
where's that name come from? What region?
Mavois.
Joe Chillington.
Chilling.
I went with Joe
Listen.
Chill from Colby.
I know y'all. I know y'all watch Batman, so don't
Yes.
even play.
Yes. That's funny.
So where are we at? Where are we at in the match? I don't even know.
We
We're
need
just
Will's
talking shit now.
overall feelings. We need Will's
We do,
feelings
we-
on the match.
Yeah.
We need your feelings on the match. Bring it.
You want me to go off, King?
Go
Go
on.
off.
No,
Do
okay.
your thing, bro.
All right. So today, starting 11, you know what I mean, and we talk about it all the time. Julian Alvarez, we've said it before. Me and Alex, and whoever listens, we want it. That could be a case. Today was not the case, baby. I don't know what the guy was doing out there, dude. We should have started Oscar Bob, and I don't know if you guys agree, but we needed a little bit more creativity when it came to the top left. Our boy, star boy, you know what I mean? Erling Haaland, of course, doing what he does, but when it comes to our boy Phil Foden, I said we should have started in the middle, but Alex told me that in the past 2 games he started on the right and he did pretty good. Man, today it was like very limited, dude. He did what he could, but there was no fucking support from anybody, dog. You know what I mean? Nobody. I mean, at the first we looked like fucking beautiful, but like my boy Alex said, I mean, the fuck up from fucking Ederson was so deflating. And when we posted that, people made me look at it in a different way and start saying it was an Ake. Ake fucked up and led him, to be one-on-one. You know what I mean? I did not see the Ake, the Ake mess up. I probably have to watch the game and watch the highlights and see it again. But come on, dude. Ederson did not have to chop him down like that, brother. That was just fucking ridiculous. And it was like
he knows better than that. He knows better than that.
And it was both legs. It wasn't one foot. He chopped the shit out of him, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of us, when that happened, all of us in the room, from the reaction videos that we do, we were like, "Oh, dude, that's a fucking penalty, brother." And thank God it was not a red, bro, because that was aggressive. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you blame the goalie, you blame the goalie, you blame." I'm like, brother, remember, we're citizens and we watch fucking soccer. We're not gonna sugarcoat shit. We're not here to make them look good. We're here to fucking state the facts and back our fucking team up. So when people are like, "Oh, you didn't have to do it," I'm like, dog, when you're a fucking goalie and you're the last guy, your fucking thing is to protect the team. If he had to do that in his mentality to fucking protect the team, so be it, but he paid the price for it. Eventually he got fucking Charlie horse out of it, is what it looked like from it. You know what I mean? And the guy fucking stepped out, dude. And come on, props to Ortega. Today was like solid, brother. Holy shit, bro. That guy came through. When he came in, I was like, fuck, we're done. I don't know if you guys felt the same way like that, but I was like, it's come on, they're gonna curve. If Newcastle can curve the ball around him in that match that we saw where Oscar Bob fucking killed it. I mean, Luis Diaz is gonna find the way, dude. You know what I mean? And Jurgen Klopp played it fucking so good today. He waited for the second half to put in Robertson and Salah. But today we had a segment, and maybe you can do it today. Maybe you can join us today. Me and Alex made a segment called "What the Fuck, Pep." And after you say "What the fuck, Pep," give me your fucking rant. And today my fucking rant was, "What the fuck, Pep? Where the fuck was Ruben Diaz, dude? What was that with that? What's up with that decision? We started him so many times. Come on, brother."
Rubes has been incredibly inconsistent this year. I don't know what's up with him, but it's every 3 matches he'll have a good match, and then he goes on a slump. And then he comes back and he has an awesome save somewhere to redeem himself, and then the process, rinse and repeat. I understand why in this match,
Mm-hmm.
the way that we had the backfield set up. I mean, we had, I think we were what? We were 10 of 11 on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Quite right.
Yeah.
So,
All
I mean,
besides Diaz, yeah.
And it wasn't
all
like
the
that.
ideas.
Yeah. It was a
No.
little switch, but yes.
But still, Diaz.
Well, I
Diaz
mean, to be
is
fair
supposed
to
be
that,
the
though,
anchor.
Diaz's shit games are better than most people's good games. You know.
That's
Yeah.
that's fact, and that's honestly all of us being a little bit complacent with our team,
Yeah.
having the high expectations that we do because of the way that we perform, because
Yeah.
of who we have coaching. I totally get that mindset, but on this day, Diaz did not show up where he was supposed to ever.
Yeah. I would have depended on him more than a fucking more than a what do we have today?
Akanji and Stones.
Akanji and
With
Stone.
his
Come on,
Stones.
my boy said Akaji look a little flat-footed, you know what I mean? And I would have thought that goal that he got in the week gave him another confidence, but I did see that it was like, come on, dog, we need a little bit more. It looked like Kyle Walker was trying to make up. Kyle Walker and John Stones made up a lot for what was going on in the defense today. You know what I mean?
See, so I like that. See, I don't know. I might attract some ire towards me, but for me personally, I don't know. The jury's still out on Kanji for me. You guys, I don't know. I feel like he's a child. Like you can't pair him up. Like you need to pair him up with someone who's more reliable. But if you leave him out there on his own, he panics. And I saw his face during the second half when things started to fall apart, and that dude kind of looked terrified. And he was just kind of like, looking around, like kind of like, like he was like in this fog of war, you know what I mean? Just like what's going on. And like you always need to pair him up with like Diaz, or you need to pair him up with like Ake if Ake plays center back. But like in the games that this season where we've had really poor defensive performances, I zeroed in on Akanji. I saw Akanji's mistake, like where he's being flat-footed. He didn't mark someone. He wasn't tracking back. And like I kind of identified him, and like I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but to be honest, like I've done a lot of, so I do edits for the podcast, and I've done different edits for every senior player. I still haven't done one for Akanji. The highlight footage on there is very sparse in my opinion, but it's just I'm not really motivated. Like you got to show me a little bit more. You got to give me something more motivation to want to do an Akanji edit, because I mean he's obviously a Man City caliber player, and but within this
bargain of a player, might I add.
Yeah,
bargain of a player.
In this realm, and you just need to show me a little bit more. Give me some more motivation.
Hey, you're saying that now, and he scored this week. Last week I said the same thing about Kovacic. You need to show me a little bit more, dog. And he fucking scored.
Yeah,
and he fucking scored, dude. So eventually these guys need to come around. But I mean, I'm still standing with my shit, dog. Like Ruben Diaz is like a fucking hard ass captain. He's a fucking dope ass motherfucker in the back. Tells fools what to do. We could have really used that today, dude. On some real shit, you know what I mean? And then like I said, I still stand with the Oscar Bob, and our boy Halan needs to get more fucking involved, dude. Like, okay, I'll say this: when he plays with Kevin De Bruyne, it looks genius. Without Kevin De Bruyne, it just looks like cherry picking, dog. And it's just like you got to get involved.
You're not wrong. I mean, one of the things too, especially who was I getting ready to say? Oh, Holland. Here's one notable thing. If you've not seen in any of like the little like press conferences or like little media edits that City does, he constantly says how Jack is his best friend. He's the one he has the most connection with. So are we not seeing the best Holland because we don't have the chemistry out on the pitch that he's used to? Yes, he connects well with Kev all the time because Kev knows how to place him. But is there that little missing piece with Jack not there that he doesn't feel 100% comfortable with? Anybody take that question?
It was like that last season. They had a little bromance themselves, Grealish and Haaland.
Great.
Yeah.
Grealish serves these passes to Haaland where it's kind of like off the ground but not super high, and it's really hard for a defender to really get through. But he can find Haaland's foot and it just goes in, right? Like it's like a midway shot, very hard to defend, and you know, or he just kind of like loops it onto his head and Haaland does the header because I've been editing a lot of footage and I kind of have seen a lot how Grealish Haaland assists work typically, and it's kind of one of the two passes. It's like kind of floating pass onto the head or a midway little lightning strike or lightning pass. You know what I mean? So we are missing that, and it just goes without saying. I think we all are missing Grealish right now. We did the Wolverine meme with you know what I mean? That kind of went viral, and you know, just like he's that role is his role. The way he plays it, the way he tracks fouls, the way he passes, and then can take a shot if he needs to, and how he's clutched up in certain games. Like that left-hand role has been defined by him. And like we're kind of also asking Doku to do the same thing too, that Doku hasn't really fallen into. But this is his first year. You know what I mean? His first year, so he still has to learn. But Grealish has really defined that role, and we're asking all the other players who play that role to play similarly to Jack. But you know, every player plays differently, and you know, but you know, so that just goes without saying. But no, I think Haaland needs to learn how to play regardless of whoever, because we have world-class people all around him. You know what I mean?
Absolute facts.
Yeah, it's like, you know, and like if you can't score goals and help other people, you know what I mean? And I know he can. I mean, but like as I said earlier, like Foden has been the striker for us. You know what I mean? Like he's been the one scoring the majority of the goals. So how about you just go find the ball and go give it to Foden? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, yeah.
Boys, what are your thoughts?
I think we had such a consistent lineup last year towards the end of the season where everybody knew how the other person was going to move and how to link up with one another. And Jack was a big that on the left side, and we almost had the same starting 11 going for several games in a row, especially all the big matches. So I think that's the piece that's missing, is a little bit of continuity, because we've been bringing the back line in and out. He's been shifting formations a little bit throughout the season. So it's just, and then Haaland being out for 2 months and then Kevin being out for 6, it's just going to take everybody a little bit of time to get back into that groove that they were into at the end of last season. That was such a high note for everybody. Like wonderful to watch. And then we had a little bit of disconnect this year just because of people being out. So
yeah, and like circling back to like, you know, us talking earlier about how like, you know, like the rotation of like the back line and all that. I mean, that was hardly more clear than today. Like, first of all, have we seen that pairing once this season?
I don't think so.
No. And like you're saying, Akanji and Stones are basically those guys like the Otamendi of that fucking era. God damn, I hated Otamendi for that shit. Like you always had to have somebody who's actually gonna like sit there on the line, because Otamendi's going all the fucking play. Like and that's what those, like, you need a Diaz, you need somebody like that who's going to sit on the fucking line and let them do whatever the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah, otherwise, you can't leave them unattended. You know what I mean? They're like kids at Disneyland. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta stay by the churro stand. Right? Stay by the churro stand. I'm gonna use the restroom, but then it's like,
I'll be back.
Where the fuck they go? You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, you know. So, I mean. I honestly, I think Pep is going to be tinkering a lot from here to the end of the season. Like last year, I remember we locked into a lineup, we found the groove, and then Pep more or less was very hands off. But I think he's going to be making some tinkering. And like today, like he played Foden on the right, and that's worked in the last 2 games. But today it didn't work, so now he's going to have to shift again. You know what I mean? So a matter of all the changes he makes is that we just stay super consistent, keep winning games. Really. Maybe we find something of here eventually that works. I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident with Kovacic playing. I think Kovacic is starting to bring a little bit more balance to the squad. But
better spirit that we need.
Yeah, and that was different from what we were talking about him previously in the season. Like I think we had some strong words for Kovacic too, like what's he doing? But then Will predicted a Kovacic goal last week, and it came to pass. And then I just think as Will,
dude, Will's been on one.
Hey man,
Will's been on one for a long time. He predicts things a lot.
They call me the Oracle. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying. Hey, how about the Kovacic move, subbing fucking Kevin De Bruyne for Kovacic today?
So I don't think anybody saw that coming, honestly. And with the
Kevin
way
sure as
that
fuck
Kev
didn't.
got pulled off, exactly. When he got pulled off and he came off to the sideline and was talking to Pep, like there was an obvious disconnect somewhere that we're not seeing, because at that point in time, Kev was kind of integral to what we were doing at that point in the game. So to have him come off and then be subbed off for Kova, it didn't feel like a good swap for swap at all. It kind of felt like
No.
we were disbanding a little bit, and Pep was throwing shit at the wall and see what stuck. But on that though, like we were just saying, Kova has slowly progressed himself into more of a leader and more of somebody who has veteran characteristics, especially being in big games, Champions League games, stuff like that, where we need him the most. So did we get a good player from him this year during the transfer? Yes. He filled a hole that we needed through Gundogan. Now that he's gone, he's kind of plugged away, but he's not the Mr. Whippy that we wanted. Fair?
I mean,
Very fair.
I think we're just starting to see him coming to his own within the squad. I think we're maybe 2 or 3 games into actually seeing him fit into the squad. So I think we just hold off on reservation on that so far,
Sure.
and see what he is towards the end of the season and then beginning of next season. Because I think what was it, the second leg of Copenhagen, I think I'm starting as when I started seeing something that I liked from him, and I think he is a part of our most balanced 11. So it's like we're 2 or 3 games in, and I think this is about the same time we locked into some kind of form last year, like mid-March was when we locked into the form that took us all the way to the treble. So hopefully we lock in again, and I think Kovacic is definitely a part of that.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no stranger to big games at all, coming from Madrid, and then, as much as it pains us to say, the Chelsea piece, because he was a part of that club that beat us
in the final.
But so he's no stranger to big games. He knows what it means to play for a big club. So that acclimation period that usually takes, especially midfielders with Pep and Man City, the acclimation period was a lot shorter for him. I mean, we're definitely seeing him, I think, shine a little bit more now, which you'd like to see, because you have to have bodies in that midfield that are steady and reliable, and he's becoming that for us for sure.
I like that.
Fair enough.
So hey,
I got it.
Oh, go ahead, dude.
Salah was on for fucking 30 minutes, right? Give or take. Now, I clearly got 2 good dives out of that. I don't know if you guys got any more, but that motherfucker.
Yeah.
King.
Yeah, I saw that meme you guys posted. Yeah, I was like, the one where the guy's just like falling in the dirt. You know what I mean?
He's trying to. Yeah, he was trying to practice diving, and he fucking just landed on his ass and flipped into the pool.
Yeah.
He was definitely on his diving practice this week.
I mean,
bro,
I hate that shit. Okay, so they keep saying at the start of the season, we're going to crack down on simulation. We're going to crack down. They never fucking crack down on simulation. And it's like, okay, if you're not going to call this as a foul, then that's fucking simulation. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
One of the big things that we noticed about the half for this Liverpool game is this is the first time in a very long time where we have been outpassed. We hardly ever get outpassed or outpossessed.
I'm going to say possession.
What do you think? What do you think was the big factor in that today?
Oh man, we turned over the ball so many times in the second half. It was too much to take. You know what I mean? Like it was like, we just make a pass, it was swiped, and then we were running back down the field. We were just turning it over so many times. Like I mean, and part of Klopp's game is the press, and the press clicked in the second half for them, and they were just pressing the hell out of us, and we were like always getting the ball, then we get it back and make 2 passes. The third pass was swiped back, we were running it back, and it seemed like that carried on for like maybe 15 minutes of the second half, and like they're pressing us really well, you know what I mean? And I feel like our press kind of lagged in this game too, because like we were trying to press them, and then they would always evade the press, and then they, you know, they would do their thing. But I think that if any part of City's game today, definitely we didn't press that well, and we were turning over the ball just straight up in the second half.
It was a little discouraging taking out Kevin and Julian, and then seeing Liverpool throw in Salah and Robertson.
Yeah.
It was like, what are we doing, dog? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to expect out of that. So it's a little discouraging, and I bet you some of the players on the pitch were like, "Oh shit, we're kind of fucked right here." You know, our main dude is gone. You know, and by that is like Kevin De Bruyne is the one that moves the ball. You know, like, not to be dedicated to the plays that are being fucking, but the guy does a fucking lot. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
So when you see Salah, is like, fuck, dude. Kyle's fuck. I mean, who was it? Ak is fucking tired. You know, and now they're throwing in an animal like Salah that likes to cut to the left and fucking shoot. And Robertson, that guy just gives it his all, fucking. You know what I mean? So for the way the situation went, I think we fucking held it on pretty good, dude. Because man, we got away with a big one at the end, fellas. And Doku almost shit the fucking bed at the end with that fucking kick to the chest. And our boy, me and Alex, we put a post up talking about that we got fucking lucky today. And goddamn, people went off on us again. It's not Anderson's. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. What? Alex.
Well, I mean, I'm in the camp that we're going to be looking back on that call as a call. It was a no call. It was a big no call. And as Joe and I were talking about, it's like it depends. It's ref's discretion. But like I already recall 2 moments in our season so far. I think the Newcastle game. I said at the Newcastle game, that's a moment we're going to look back on where KDB came back and saved our season. If you remember, he got his goal and then assisted Bob to win that game.
Yeah.
And then this no call, I think we'll look back on it. And like, I think that no call should really, how should I say, like kind of dissuade or the certain kinds of people that like to talk about like match fixing or whatever, like how VAR is unfair. You know what I mean? Like we got away with that, and that probably saved our season. So, like, you know, VAR is very inconsistent, and I still have a lot of problems with VAR, especially how it's administrated in England as opposed to the coast of the continent. But like for real, like I mean that's a big no call that we're going to look back on. I think it's going to be written about. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're going to look back on, you know, in books about soccer in like 5 years' time. It's like, oh, that no call on Doku was probably saved. You know, some journalist is going to write that one in 3 to 4 years. I know how we feel about journalists on this.
Oh, they're writing it right now.
I know how we feel about it. We know how we feel about it. We kind of
buy our merch.
You know what I mean?
A lot of that.
Hey, but that ref did not just save fucking Man City, but that rave saved Jeremy fucking Doku, dude. You know what I mean? Because we've been a little harsh on him this past month, and me and Alex have been talking about it. But hey, it's tough
but you've been spot on every time,
and it's the fucking truth. Today, that goal that he got the post was gonna win the people back. He was gonna win all of us back with that shit, dude.
Yeah,
and we were like, dog. Me and Alex were like, okay, hey, if that one went in, we would have erased all the shit that we said. You know, and
we can't do everything. Made a public apology and like done, like, you know, and spoke from Doku to high heaven. You know what I mean? But at last, it was the inside of the post. You know,
and it went right back to the fucking keeper. Like it landed in his lap. Like what the like? Come on, like that never happened.
And then imagine minutes later, almost conceding that penalty. Dude, we would have fucking. we would have came out with our pitchforks and our fucking
Emotional damage.
exactly, dog. Exactly. Oh
I'm
my
right
god.
with you guys with that moment being really important, but I'm not gonna ever fucking apologize for it because Liverpool have especially gotten the right end of majority of these calls to help them out. So
Yeah.
to me, any of their punk ass fans that want to complain about that shit, they can miss
Oh,
me
of course.
because their team have gotten the most help from VAR that I've ever
Right.
seen.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, I got that as soon as the match was over. Actually, so we were supposed to have a Scouser on tonight, which didn't happen because he lives over there and time and all that shit.
Always happens like
First
that.
thing, right? First thing that comes out of his first thing that comes out of his thumbs is that should have been, and I'm like, on any other day, if that would have been the opposite way around, you'd be screaming.
Yeah.
Or you'd be saying otherwise. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. On any given day, you would have said otherwise. So whatever.
They should have only got
there
1
was-
point from fucking Nottingham Forest. There.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So
The Tottenham thing. The Tottenham
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
yeah. So with the second half, because of the way the coin was flipped, we got the cop stand in the second half. Do you feel that played a bit of a role in some of the way that we broke down a little bit?
I know this was mentioned in some other podcasts as a factor. I mean, Anfield is hard to win at because of the fans, but the fans are all
Sure.
around the pitch, right? And they're doing whatever they do, this kind of stuff. You're like, yeah, come on. Yeah, was it the Jerry Carragher? It's like, can I get a can of Coke? You know what I mean? Like whatever shit, you know what I mean? That kind of shit, you know what I mean? Whatever garble is coming out of their mouth, you know what I mean? I mean, we were winning the game at one point, and the vibes were immaculate for the first half, and then, and then the second half it happened because of mistakes that were made on the field, and then I feel like that kind of rattled the players, and I mean, sports psychology is an interesting subject, but I feel like professional players can lock in, you know what I mean, and tune out the audience, whatever the audience is, you know what I mean, unless they get hit with a bottle, obviously, like that's like, a violation of their safety, right? But
Right.
but like just like I don't know if that's really the case, but Anfield's a hard place to go to, so because of because of their fans, right? So I don't necessarily rate that as the reason why we didn't do as well in the second half. I think all the things that we were just talking about just previously, like the Ederson mistake, taking KDB off, like that might have unsettled the squad. So yeah, but as the fans, I don't think so. I know. I think yeah. I mean, Anfield is hard to win at. That's just flat out because of the fans. But can't cop or whatever we're kicking to doesn't really matter,
Mm-hmm.
I do think if it was flipped and they were finishing toward the cop, that could have energized them more, and that could have been bad for us. So I mean, us playing it the way we did, I think, was better.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that we're really used to with this matchup is the pre-match bus route that comes in to Anfield, and we have known how notorious their supporters have been, to the point of them throwing bottles and all types of shit at our.
I like that beer.
Right?
Yeah, it's a good beer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Those Frankies will
go for one right now.
Right?
So they rerouted us for this, right? They rerouted us. How demoralizing is that for the fans on the other side?
Oh wait, I thought you were gonna show a graphic about where they rerouted them. Like, did they have to like?
Oh no! I wish I could find it. We look for it everywhere. We look for it everywhere. But
so you're asking, how do you feel as a Liverpool fan that they're not coming through the fucking way that they do?
Right.
Well, no,
because they set up the whole fucking thing greeting us like they tried to do.
Right.
Like
They what they did was they gave them all all those Groucho Marx glasses. They made him wear all this
With the
stuff.
mustache.
And the mustache. They kind of like walked him out like kind of sparsely. You know what I mean? And then people were just walking by, and it's like, you want a can of Coke? You want a can of Coke?
Stupid ass.
And then
No idea.
and they're like, no, thank you, I don't drink Coke. And then they walked in, you know what I mean? And then it was like, wait, where's the city bus at? What happened to him? Oh, did you not see all the Groucho Marx classes?
Stupid.
It's like, what? Oh wait, that was Kevin De Bruyne. Oh man, I just thought that was a ginger with a mustache.
By the way, we should try to work on making this for later. I'm just gonna
Hell yeah.
like the dude's walking in with
That's how they rerouted him, was that we all just like, you know, went out. Like one person was wearing like a I don't know, like a priest outfit, you know what I mean? One person walked in like that, you know what I mean? Like just different disguises, you know what I mean? Kovacic is the nun, you know what I mean? Like Kovacic walks in. Gotta get into the game.
That's funny.
Somebody walks in with a pandemic mask, he's got the big old long beak.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Terry, a mask, sir?
They come in with a Slipknot mask.
There you go. Corey Taylor's dreadlocks is flying everywhere. You're like, oh my God!
Yeah.
That's funny.
Holland's wearing a Viking outfit.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way you could miss him. You'd be like, oh my God, he's in his natural environment.
Yeah,
like,
that's his traditional garb.
Right. So when Ortega came on, right, did you guys notice a little bit of a shift there momentarily in our play? Because I did. On the positive.
Yeah, we bring this up because we've been having this guy jump in our live who says a lot of right things, Jay Bain, who's an Englishman in Scotland, and he noticed that he likes Ortega because from the games that he's played in the FA Cup, Ortega has demonstrated a lot of composure on the ball, and I think he has a lot of composure. He made a lot of critical saves in that second half, and yeah, I agree with Jay Bain. Shout out Jay Bain, but I do notice that, and he's a very reliable backup, and that's unlike times in our city's history, like when we had an unreliable backup. Like, do we all remember Claudio Bravo?
Boo.
You mean a starter in Claudio Bravo? Like, let's remember that.
Yeah. And a backup. You know what I mean,
dude?
Christ,
yeah, and that's one of the things that I want to like make a thing about is like Ortega is a really good GK2, and for all the reasons you just said, he's composed, he knows how to play, he knows how to handle the ball. One of the things that I'll even go as far as to say is that he has a little bit better ball skills than Eddie does.
Interesting.
There's times I would say Ederson all day, but there
are times where he's shown himself as to be worthy of a GK1 spot if it wasn't for us.
I need a larger sample size of that. You know what I mean?
I dig it.
Hey man, let's just say that guy was not expecting to play today. That guy was, especially it being a Liverpool Man City game. He's like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna play today." But the guy suited up today, and he came through. You know what I mean? And it was fucking beautiful. Yeah, hell yeah, he did. So, much respect to that guy for today. You know what I mean? I was impressed with what he did today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really tough to do that. It's really tough to just literally cold as shit. Be like, all right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. He had the energy. He had what today needed for the rest of the way out while he was in there. There any other points of mention you want to make about this match before we go into open discussion and into the comments section?
This sounds like Robert Rules of Order, like I'm at a union meeting or something like that. Well, that's an open discussion. Motion. Can I get a motion to what do you say? I don't know. Motion to
Listen. I'm trying to get my lawyer garb down. All right, I am going to school for law and shit. So, hey, your girlfriend's here, Kyle.
Ellie,
Yes, Will. Yes, Will.
Yeah, I do that for,
We're
I do that
gonna-
for Alex too. When he talks about his girlfriend, I'm like,
Yeah.
we're gonna mess with Ellie from here, there, and everywhere else, just not announced. Because the first time I ever saw her in a chat room, I forget whose I was on. I think it was like Shades of Blue. And she saw I was on and made what seemed to be through text a little huffle-puffle. And asked where Kyle was. So I assumed right from then she was like, "That's my man. I need me some Kyle." Now every time she's in here, I'm just gonna mess with her. No, for real though, we love you, Ellie. She did something kind of cool, and I shouted it out a couple episodes back. I posted a shirt for everybody, which you guys may have seen in our bonfire store, where it's a map of Manchester and it's got a dot right where the Etihad is. Well, my dumbass was up to like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning doing this shirt. I was a little gassed, I'm not gonna lie. And I was totally looking the map wrong, and I posted the shirt, and she was like, "Hey, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, it's in the wrong place.
It's not where the Eddie had it.
That's not where the Etihad is." I was like, "Nice one. I'm gonna shout you out
right.
for that.
You're
Good
right.
looks."
that's where Etihad
Right.
sandwiches is. No, I'm saying.
Good looking out for sure.
her brain was probably a little less foggy than mine was at the time. So thank you, Ellie, for that.
I was looking at a Thomas guide from 1988 when I did this. Sorry. I said just Google mapping it and then just like kind of zooming out and be like, oh, that's where it is. Boop.
There
You
you
guys were
go.
like,
Right.
I was looking at Thomas guides, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's why it's good to have supporters. See, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
support.
Exactly.
Exactly, Will.
Exactly. So, guys, we're going into Newcastle this week. This is the first week in a while that we have literally been without a match midweek. So, how does it? Wait, guys, Joey McCune is my boyfriend. Oh, really? Is that a thing? Is that real?
Joey
I
McCune?
need to know. I need to know.
Is
Oh,
that
Joey McCune. Oh, I thought McHugh. I was like, damn, is that short?
McCune? That's the noise guy.
That is the American half of the Noisy Neighbors.
Yeah. Okay. Ellie. All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, tell him to share our stuff.
Sure.
Right?
We want to.
That's 100% real. Oh, okay. All right. Now the picture's really clear because Mr. McCune has been quite a dickhead to me on numerous occasions. So you can let him know that I said so.
Go off, King.
Go off.
Go off.
Man City, US
Go off,
Man City
King.
podcast drama.
He better check that
Fair
Cleveland
enough.
steamer before I check it for him.
Damn.
Here we are.
Listen,
Here we are.
don't be a dick. I won't be a
Content,
dick
baby,
back.
content.
It's just as easy as that.
Real
Don't be a
simple,
dick,
right?
and I won't be a dick back.
Yeah.
Play fair.
It's
So we're going into Newcastle, right?
Yes.
What do we see after this match going into this? Do we see a little bit of what we saw as far as the lineup that we saw against Copenhagen, or do we try to go for a more full squad?
It's gonna be a big dick team.
yeah, big dick team. It'll be
Yeah,
a big
man.
dick team.
We have to go with the 4-11, dog. We gotta warm up for the Champions League, and we gotta. Well, actually, we're on a break, right?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna be on
yeah.
a break. Yeah,
So, I mean, the best thing to do is just prepare everybody for that Arsenal game, dog. You gotta starve them, because when you don't play, it's like when you don't skate for a long ass time, and then when you start skating again, you're just popping all kinds of tricks all easily. You know, it's like that, dude. When they come back from the fucking international break, Arsenal needs to watch out, dog, because we got a lot of stars, and they got a couple of starting fools too. So remember, they're Man City products. We know what's up.
Right.
miss me with that Saka over Foden stuff. Oh my
Oh,
god!
Fucking A.
I'm so over it.
It only Arsenal fans rate Saka that high. Saka's a good player. I'll say that, but
Great
he's
player.
not Foden. And I'm just anticipating the Southgate favoring Mason Mount and and Saka in the Euro over Grealish and Foden, who probably play for the best team in the land, you know what I mean, and the world. And
Amen.
you know, it's just like come the hell on. But like, you know, but I mean, yeah, I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah, Foden over Saka, just you heard it here.
Dude, well, actually, I think it was just what, like maybe like a week ago or something like that. There was a massive tip. I think it was on the Lads podcast or whatever, and they threw up that thing with Vinny in it. And I said, I was like, Vinny doesn't fit into the PL. Foden, Saka, Vinny, and they literally all the farmers came out and wanted to fucking talk shit. It was fun, but. I want to
stoked to have Vinny. I'm just gonna say that if
right.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, yes, sure. I want to. There's a couple of questions that came up in the comments. I'm going to repost them again. We're going to take the non-serious question and then the kind of serious question first. So when was he a dick? Maybe it was Mulv. Nope, wasn't Mulv. Definitely your boy. And every time is the answer.
What's his name?
You're talking about JT, Joey McCune? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
That name sucks.
Chad.
Yes.
No, I'm just looking around. Dog. Hollywood Kid plays follow.
Man.
Spray and pray.
Oh god.
All right, let's go.
So Chad had a few weeks. Chad had a question a few weeks ago. People were saying KDB was back. Now they're saying he's looking washed. What is your take?
Those people are fucking idiots. That's my take right
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say too.
And they call us newbies. You know what I mean? That sounds like such a fucking new Man City fan thing. And we support all fucking fans. Don't get us wrong.
Literally.
But come on, dog. You know what I mean? Like to say that he's washed now. Come on, dog. We didn't even want him to get subbed. What are you talking about?
They're probably reposting CapCut templates and just putting whatever the fuck in there and just being like, oh, let's go to here. And it's just like repost edits and stuff. And it's like, come on, G.
That sounds like a guy that plays FIFA on his phone.
Just hot fire.
He's definitely not washed. Let's just say that. He's not washed.
On,
He's still the best fucking midfielder in the world.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
Not washed.
Period.
Not washed. Thank you for asking the question so we can make fun of people who don't know.
Yes,
shit.
we love it, but that question's washed. Next. No,
Apparently, we're soft. We're soft.
Oh,
we need an elaboration as to why that is.
Yeah,
we look soft as fuck. What are you talking about?
Doughboy, dude. Doughboy.
I'll say right to his fucking face if that's what we're talking about. I'll stand over his fucking 5'3" ass.
But shout out to you.
Taking a weird turn, man.
I like this
Welcome
segment.
to the
We just take the stupid shit and just roast them. You know what I mean? Like that.
Right.
I love roasting, so don't fuck with me. All right, let's go.
So the U.S. tour is coming up, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all gonna go, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We are.
Let's find out. Maybe more than once. I'm thinking me and Joe might. So, where is everybody going for it?
It sounds like Ohio.
Yes, sir. Columbus.
Ohio, Cleveland rocks.
There
you go.
Cleveland rocks.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, dude.
Columbus rocks.
We're gonna have. Let's fuck Columbus up. Number one. Number two.
Yeah. Craft
This
beer
is gonna
capital of
be
the world.
fucking awesome because all of us are gonna be under one roof
Yes.
Nah,
for once. The shenanigans should go
high.
way high.
Oh yeah.
Way high.
Went pretty well for Green Bay. We have. I mean, I couldn't talk after Green Bay, so
Nope.
we have a level to get to. You know.
That was Halam's debut, right?
Yeah.
In the States, yeah.
Yes, it was.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We got 2 rainouts in that one. That was pretty awesome because we got to get shoved in the corridors while everybody was chanting. Actually, shout out shout out to was it Liz Schindler from the Twin City group.
Yeah,
I got to. We were actually in a circle with them and their son, whom I thought was Maul's kid for a second, because I swear to God they look almost exactly alike. And I looked at him and was like, "Bro, are you Maul's kid?" He looks at me, and then his dad looks over and he goes, "That's my son." And I was like, "Oh, well, my bad. I'm a little drunk and I'm having a good time."
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, absolute blast. And I cannot, dude, you guys are gonna be there. I thought you guys were going to New York, so I was like, maybe we'll see them.
no, we said that
We're trying to go somewhere less hectic, dude.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be expensive at New York, and it's at the Meadowlands, and it's just gonna be way the hell up, and it's not gonna be a good game. And the Columbus game, from what I hear, it's gonna be at Ohio State Stadium, and so I think that'd be a better venue, and I just think probably cheaper airfare all around. So, and it's Man City versus Chelsea, so I'd rather go see that there. So. It goes to the Premier League team. I'm just like really disappointed that they didn't announce SoFi as a venue and try to get a big matchup over here. As I point out, like way back, I didn't know Will at the time, but he was there at the game too. But City played Real Madrid at the Coliseum, and it was the most attended soccer game in Coliseum history. And it was a fun time. I went with my twin brother, and we sat in the City supporters section. Yeah, that was Cam. And so but we beat them, and like we beat them handedly. I think we beat them like 5-1 or 5-1. 5-1, yeah. And then it was like a young ass Foden, you know what I mean? Like a teenage Foden.
Kyle Walker's debut, and like everyone was there, and it was like Real Madrid, sans Ronaldo. So basically, like the team that followed for many years after that. And then we mucked them up, right? And then it was just such a good time. And I was actually rewatching the highlights of that game, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I saw that team. You know what I mean? It's like,
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just that team and what it was like back in like 2017. You know what I mean? Just like it's like a time capsule. But it was a good game, and it was at the Coliseum, and it was massively attended.
I see your upsetness with SoFi, but I also am going to point the finger at Stan Kroenke.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's pulled all kinds of fuckery when it comes to that stuff. Like for a moment, we weren't even going to have World Cup games at SoFi because Stan Kroenke was making demands and he wanted FIFA to foot the bill. And FIFA was like, we're not going to foot the bill. And so they revoked that. And then Stan Kroenke came to a sentence saying, well, I don't want people to be pissed off at me for not having games in Los Angeles. So I'm okay, whatever, I'll do it. So he's going to make the necessary adjustments to make it a World Cup venue. And as a result, we got World Cup soccer here in 2 years, and then we got and probably we'll get Club World Cup soccer because that's going to be a summer tournament now. And then yeah, so there's a lot of things coming through Los Angeles for sure. But yeah, I mean Stan Kroenke, get Arsenal. He's the Chelsea Arsenal owner. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
We had a Clásico at the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. Why couldn't we get a derby at the Raiders Stadium, dog? That would have been beautiful. You want to generate money, dog? That would have been bursting. Or maybe get Arsenal or whoever. Point is, get a city in the fucking goddamn states over here closer. Goddamn,
dude, you guys did get robbed for the cities because they are literally all East Coast cities this year. So I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah.
But also conversely, you have like homies over this way. So
yeah, of course. Yeah. Hell yeah.
DC, yeah. DC for sure.
We're really kind of in a good place, like as far as where everything's spread out to, especially this tour, because literally New York is 5 hours away, Charlotte's 5 hours away. And so is Columbus.
Yeah, about.
So it's like
it's easy to get from DC to New York, or wherever, like by train or whatever. Like I know they have that train, and then in North Carolina it's a quick flight, or in Ohio's a quick flight. So
I saw the train to get to the game, Alex.
You did train ticket.
That's 2 days, dude. Fuck that.
Well, no, we're not training to Ohio.
I know, but I was thinking frugally. You know what I mean?
You're taking Amtrak
Usually
to
it's not even
Ohio.
cheaper.
Dude. Okay,
I
the Amtrak.
Uber. No, I'm just saying.
Uber.
Dude, the Amtrak from where I live, like where I get the train from to Chicago, is exactly 16 hours.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's a long way.
It's a long trip.
You better
Luckily,
take
they
an
do it
edible.
overnight, so you get to I do every time, every fucking time. I actually, the one time I left there, me and Kyle went to the dispensary, and I got this thing called a Gooby, and it was just it looked like a Tootsie Roll, like a long Tootsie Roll, and it was clear. It was mango. Well, it was 1,000 milligrams. I ate half of it on the way back, and I was so zooted. I ordered so much food.
My
I got one of those.
Those things are fucking hard.
Yeah.
You saw God.
Almost.
So Zooty, you saw God.
Oh yeah, dude.
Let's see. What else have we got on here? Oh, this City's going to be on Netflix. April 2nd.
Oh yes.
But only in the
Holy
UK.
shit.
I hear.
What?
The travel documentary is only going to be distributed in the UK. Is that what I was hearing? I don't know. That's what I was tracking.
It's showing up on my Netflix account as coming soon. So it better
okay.
pop
nice.
on there on my Netflix account.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
good.
got like Netflix emails. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not just an East Coast thing, man. Fuck that.
West Coast market is excluded.
I'm over here thinking I have to get a VPN then, an extra one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Shout out NordVPN.
But
Right.
All or Nothing was fucking good on Amazon Prime, so I'm really
course.
excited about this documentary.
Of
Hell
course.
yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
dude.
city
And
production to start, and they do a mint work. They're fucking
Bang.
phenomenal. So
Hell
it's
yeah.
gonna be
Hang up, job.
Yeah. Given an Oscar. By the way, the Oscars are tonight. Anyone care?
I think they're actually
Think City will win?
happening right now. This has turned into the Oscar Snobby Podcast Oscar watch party.
The Oscar one.
We're
Stay
rooting on
tuned,
Barbie
man.
right now. Barbie for Best Picture.
There you go.
Oscar. See what the Oscars are at right now. I don't care, but even
No.
don't care. Is Will Smith gonna slap someone again?
Shit, I hope so. So I hope something wild like that happens again.
Yeah.
Is it worth watching if he doesn't?
Exactly.
No, still wasn't. Still wasn't then.
No.
He kicked somebody in the nuts this time. That'll be awesome.
Man.
I think he's banned. I think he can't even go to the Oscars.
Yeah,
Like, he's
correct.
He's not in the Academy anymore. So
Yeah.
he can't even show up. He's like, if he tries to show up, they'll be like, yo, you can't be here.
You can't come in, bro.
You can't come in. So yeah, he might sneak in with that Groucho Marxist guys though. You never know.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
My word.
It might work. You know what I mean? You could do, just do it like that. You know what I mean? Roll it to the Dolby and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna...
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. So last thing before we get off of here, Phil Foden may be extending his contract.
Phil. Look at what you done. Phil.
Phil.
Beautiful.
I'm a motherfucking star boy.
There you go. That's a chat me and Kobe are working on right now.
That's
dude.
right. We can hear it in the stands. Like if we could just get people to implement it, it would totally work out. And there'd be like kids in the stands and they're like, "Oh my god, they're singing Starboy."
Yeah, the
Meanwhile,
weekend, dude.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you can get like 50,000 people to do it, sure, but good fucking luck.
We got two, so
Hey, that's the start.
498 left. 598.
I think our newest chant comes from Fleetwood Mac, so that says a lot.
Oh, nice. Which one is that one?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I said anywhere. I always get that fucking mixed up. Who cares? Means same thing. Right?
Anywhere, everywhere. That's kind of the same thing. But I follow you everywhere. Yeah.
I want to be with you somewhere.
I'll
Right.
be with you someplace.
The kid is
Over there.
Over there. Over there.
All right, guys.
The churro stand. All right, sorry.
You started it, now
You gotta end it. You gotta. The
You gotta go.
punchline's gotta come back.
All right, guys. I want to thank Alex and Will from the Hollywood Kitbacks for coming on, hanging out with us, chilling, rapping out about the city, talking little shit with us.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's what they like to do, apparently. So I feel it's only natural to give it.
We love it.
Love to see it.
Right. So on that note, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of some music, and it just so happens to be.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Okay. All right.